Hi, welcome. It's Jim from the maverickstar Observatory. Guys, before we get into the video, I just want to thank those patrons, our superstars with the equipment out there in the field around the world. And, I want to encourage more people to support what we do here at the observatory in making donations, because we are starting to notice the effects of COVID-19 slowing us down with raising funds for the observatory. And I want to encourage you guys to come on board now. It's like if you're on a long run, 7-mile run, you're about 3 miles in, you're starting to hit the wall and you feel like you want to just give up. At this point you can't go no more. But if you're a runner, like I used to be, a regular runner doing 7 miles, you push yourself a little bit further and you do 4 miles, 5 miles, 6 miles, and then there is only just 1 mile left, and you know that you can achieve it. And that's where we are right now, and that's what this video is about today. We've got M5, M6, we've got the Trimag here in the UK, the magnetosphere sensor and a muon detector. We're out there in the United States, in Arizona, with one of our detectors, and recently soon to be arriving in Canada. We've almost got it all in hand, and we are very close to getting one in the M8 position, and that will complete a very important milestone for us, guys. So that's why it's important not to quit now. The whole purpose of what we're doing is to find out more about this anomaly that humanity faces for the first time, really for the first time. It is an excursion to start with that could lead to a completed reversal, or on the other hand, the third thing that could be taking place is a collapse of the magnetosphere continuously. And if that is the case, then the whole of this planet and all the biodiversity depends on what the outcome of this situation is. Can you believe that, guys? This is not just speculation. This has happened to a planet in our solar system already. I'm talking about Mars, like I was the other day in the video. This is a very serious event and we should be on it, and that's why it's worth, in my view, investing the time and the effort. Even my own money, guys, I invest in this. It's not just donations that we receive that I spend on building the equipment. I invest my own cash as well. So we're very close. We just need to get 2 more pieces of equipment in 2 different locations around this world, and more importantly, M8 is the next milestone for us. And I'm going to be speaking to someone in the next few days who have family themselves out there in Brazil. We've got one of our superstars, Doug, who's an avid supporter of our channel, and Kathy, Barb and Jenny's partner. They support us every single week on this channel without fail, and they raise money for this channel as well and the observatory regularly. So they're superstars as far as I'm concerned. And Doug's just waiting for, I believe his name's Alejandro, to come back from Brazil and let him know whether that family there are going to take on one of our magnetometers and our muon detectors. And on top of that, as a backup plan, I'm going to be speaking to someone else who's got family there in Brazil, and hopefully we can have that equipment out there, or being sent out there, by the end of this month. It's that short. Once we get the equipment into Brazil, we are then in a position to monitor the radiation levels with regards to muons with our muon detector, and we're also able to monitor the magnetic intensity in the South Atlantic anomaly, which covers Brazil. As you can see on here, this is the lowest magnetic intensity on our planet. With that, we'll be able to compare it with the highest magnetic intensity, which is, as you can see, creeping up on Perth in Central Australia. And then our only next step is to get one into Russia. We're going to do this, guys. I haven't invested a decade of my life on this to quit now. We are definitely going to push push until we get those pieces of equipment in those locations and we get the data coming back. I'm not going to give up. I've just invested way too much of my time, my effort, and my own cash, as well as a lot of other sacrifices I've made for this, to not quit right now. And all I'm asking is support me to do this, and I can then in turn help you answer those questions. Let me tell you this, what we're doing here is no small thing. If NASA was to try and do what we are doing, they would have to invest millions of pounds. It would involve governments around the world coming on board and allowing them to put the equipment in these countries. We are definitely sneaking around, ducking under the radar, enabling us to get equipment out there. I mean, Hong Kong, that's where we've got equipment right now. In China, can you imagine the red tape we'd have to go through to get that equipment in there? Can you imagine that communist country, China, allowing a British geomagnetic observatory into their country with equipment? They would be suspicious of that. They would accuse you of, or on their minds would be, it's spying. We don't want none of that, and bang, you're off. Especially with what's going on around the world now, with Huawei being banned in the UK from installing their 5G equipment, and also now in America. It's the relationships with some of these countries are not good, yet still we have equipment in there and it is still coming out of that country. It is really unimaginable that we are there in China with that equipment, and that's thanks to one of our superstars, Tony, out there, who without fail every month sends us the data. And as with all the other superstars that we've got part of the team here at the maverickstar Observatory, guys, all I can say is that this operation would cost simply millions if we was in the same situation as NASA and the European Space Agency. I mean, building bespoke equipment like we do here, the development of that and the programming of that, and getting it out in the field would just simply spiral out of any imaginable cost that you could imagine. And we've got it, and we're going to keep pushing to get more equipment out there, bringing more data back, and with that we can analyse that data and we can find out what's going on. This is a seed observatory which is really giving a massive big bang for the buck that we're investing in the equipment and the time that we're doing. You've got to give it credit for what we've done so far, and it is not over yet. There is more work to do, and we're on the cusp really of understanding what's going on in two of the most important regions, M5 and M8. It's just getting that equipment out in there in Brazil, and it will happen. We're not giving up here, and I just don't want you guys to give up either. What we need is for you guys to start encouraging yourselves, more people, to become subscribers of this YouTube channel and get involved in spreading the word about what is going on. Word of mouth is the most powerfulest form of advertisement we could have. You need to tell your friends, your family, and encourage them to do the same, and we can soon grow this channel and spread the information that we get. It's down to you guys. You guys have to put the effort in as well. Not just fund what we're doing here at the observatory, but also push the information out as far as we can go. We can grow this observatory and we can get back the results that we want. It's down to a personal effort. Now, I have, as you guys know, made massive sacrifices. There was many times in those 2 years of writing the program from scratch, not knowing much about programming at all, but writing the program from the TriMag system. It took me 2 years. There was many times I spent hours and hours and just failing all the time. The only way to succeed in anything is with determination and a narrow focus on the goal, and you've got to achieve it, come what no may. I could have threw up many times writing that program. It was sickening. It was something I hated doing, but look what we have achieved. At the end, we've got a working Trimag system, we've got magnetosphere sensors, and as a result of learning myself that program, I've then been able to apply it from one to the next. It took me probably 2-3 weeks to write the program for the oxygen sensor, because I'd already got a foundation in the programming language, knew what I was doing. If it wasn't for programming the Trimag, we wouldn't have these magnetosphere sensors now focusing on the magnetic intensities in them regions. Again, through focusing and investing that time in that programming and learning myself the program language, I was able to build them. It really is a testimony to work on something you haven't got a clue when you first start, and then prove to yourself that you can do it at the end when you finish it. We are all capable of doing these things. It just requires a massive effort to start with. You've got to have the fuel for the fire to start with. Otherwise, if you haven't got that, you're not going to go anywhere in life. You have to have that drive, and we've all got that ability to get what we want. Really, I promise you guys, I'm no different to you guys. I'm not no super intelligent genius. I'm just a regular guy like you guys out there, and you're capable of the very same things. If you set your mind to it and you are determined to achieve that goal, you will do it 100%. I know you can do it. So I'm going to leave it here. There's a link down there. Guys, jump on board, please. Support the observatory. Look what we're doing, look what we have done, and look what we have achieved. We have beaten NASA to the table on a couple of occasions already. Can you believe that? We don't have the billions of pounds they have in support. We've got a couple of people that regularly help and support and donate on this channel. Become one of those supporters. And I won't go on anymore. What tomorrow is? It's the 17th, and on that day we pull out the Trimag system, the SD card out there, the SD card out of the magnetosphere sensor, and we also check where the magnetic North Pole is based on that data. So tune in tomorrow for the new location of the magnetic North Pole and its progression on its way over to central Russia. So I'm going to leave it here, guys. I'm going to say once again, a link down there. Become a supporter. Take the observatory under your wing, guys. Don't leave us in the ocean with no wind in the sail. Support what we do. And as always, guys, you have an amazing day. Look after your loved ones. And I'll say what I usually do. Bye for now.